there, pervert.
Ooga booga, ooga booga. Hello, boogies. You smell that? Something's in the air. I'm trying to sniff it out. Because as soon as I started going really hard on the Office video, I had to tune everything else out. All of a sudden, a bunch of dating shows started to drop. One after the other. There's this one. There's one where like Netflix is doing like an age blind thing. Temptation Island's back. Oh, my favorite show. But I had a choice to make. I could do the age one or I can do this one. One or the other. I couldn't do both. And I thought to myself, which show has a better chance of someone getting eaten by a shark? Obviously this one. This show is pitched as, hey, we're gonna get rid of our undesirables by throwing them in the ocean. Literally, they trapdoor them off of a yacht into the ocean. You guys know me. If I lived in the gladiator ages and they put out a petition like, hey, this is too cruel, we should stop this, I would protest against those protesters so hard, I would anti-protest. If you're gonna make reality TV and you're gonna make a bunch of hot people famous, then at least put them through the most emotional hell possible for my entertainment. You know what I mean? Am I alone here? I know some of you are the same. Some of you are like compassionate or whatever, which is stupid. I'll tell you, not me. I want to treat them terribly. And if you're telling me you're launching them into the ocean, I don't know about next season, but I think they should get a cannon. They'll put the contestants in a cannon and fire them out. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a possibility for next year. But let me talk about this show for a second, all right? We have an interesting premise. So we have 16 castmates that are going to be living on this yacht in Malta. There are going to be 4 couples, 8 total people, who are going to be considered topsiders. They are going to get the experience that they thought they were coming for, aka being hot, flirting with each other, living lavishly, food, accommodations, rooms. The other 8 are going to be downsiders. Downsiders have to work. You're gonna be swabbing the deck, matey. You're gonna be in the kitchen cooking up the meals for everyone. You're gonna be sleeping in bunk beds with your fellow castmates. Have fun. I hope you like twin-size mattresses, because that's what you're gonna get. And then they're also going to entice the downsiders. They're gonna give them opportunities to come up top. They're able to swap out with some of the topsiders through either romantic coercion or through competition. We have one guy who makes literally one of the craziest choices I think I've ever seen any reality TV castmate make. I have so much to say. He is insane. You're gonna love meeting him. How about we just start there? How about we start with this guy? As they're driving up to the boat, we get some sneak peeks of these contestants. I keep wanting to call them islanders. They're not islanders. I'm not calling them seamen. I just know that's the obvious thing. No. I'm gonna call them boaties, all right? They're all boaties, okay? This guy here, his name is David. He works with children who have trauma or something.
I work in pediatric trauma, so I work with kids with mental health issues.
Hopefully you're not a child, because me telling you about him is going to be counterintuitive to his job. I'm going to traumatize you. He makes a big point of talking about how he loves women who are plastic. Half plastic, at least. I'm talking the top bits. I'm talking the down bits. I'm talking fillers, injections.
I like enhancements here or, wherever. And the plastics are going my way, and the naturals are going his way.
Now, the way that they're initially paired is they stand divided and names are drawn out of a hat. One guy name is drawn, one girl name is drawn. They go, they can't see each other, and they have to decide either do you want to be with that person or do you not? If you do, you lift your glass of champagne up. If you don't, you dump it out. Simple as that. David partners with Lo. I think her name is Lauren, but she goes by Lo. And the first time I heard her talk, I hated her. Because she said the thing. She said a thing I hate.
It would be the one that would pull on my heartstrings the most.
I'm an empath, so I feel that.
I can't tell you how much I hate when people say this. And this is a grind my gears thing. I get it. But some words have been so watered down. Saying I am an empath has just been watered down to mean, oh, I have feelings. Which applies to everybody. And what bothers me is everybody thinks that they feel a lot. But you have nothing to compare or contrast it against because your feelings are the only ones that you feel. Everyone thinks that they're an empath, which like so few people are actually real empaths. And I think half of you listening right now you're listening to me say this and you're like, yes, Dylan, I hear you, but I am part of that group. I am an empath. No. And I actually hate this point that I'm making because I went to go look up what an empath is, just so I make sure I know what I'm talking about. And I discovered that I am an empath, okay? So now I am this girl trying to tell you and convince you like, oh, I'm an empath. And now you are me being like, oh, so mister, I'm an exception to the rule, huh? This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know how to tell this to you. An empath is somebody who absorbs the feelings of others. Like when someone else feels something, The empath feels it too. It's not just like, oh, I can understand your feeling. They get a feeling of it inside of themselves. I do not want to be an empath. I dislike this. Take it away from me. I'm not trying to be a quirky boy. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a big empath. No. Remember what I just said before my tangent about how David likes girls who are plastic? Well, if you notice, Lo is not. She does not fit his criteria. And there's another girl named Bella who does fit David's criteria, and she's also into David. So she makes a play.
I'm shooting my shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what the... Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mind you, I'm pretty sure it's still day one. We have David going to the diary room after he gets flirted with Bella. And he's like, you know what? I'm not really thinking about those things anymore. I've matured.
In the past, I probably would have reciprocated to Bella because I do like enhancements. It's not crossing my mind the same way it used to.
You just got on this boat 45 minutes ago. You're a changed man. Your preferences are completely different now. Oh, I'm so sure. What crazy whiplash to just immediately be like, oh, I've changed entirely what I like and what I don't like. It's different now. David and Lo quickly become kind of the standard and the ideal for everybody aboard, which is terrible news because, one, I like watching fragile couples who can be infiltrated and broken apart for my own sick amusement. I do not want to be an empath. I dislike this. Take it away from me. But also, it's because of Lo's possessiveness. She's a very jealous and possessive girl. The same first day that she met David, she's already saying, that's my husband. When she finds out that Bella has an interest in David, that's when she's like, she shouldn't come over here. We're married.
You should like make it known that like we're like married, so she's gonna have to like figure something else out.
And as we progress through the weeks, the whole trip is about 30 days. I think they shot over 30 days. It just progressively gets worse, where she's like, oh, not only are we married, but I'm carrying his child. Haha, you know, like that shows how far along the relationship is. So any woman who would try to interfere with that, with their relationship, is actually a homewrecker in the true sense.
We are in love and getting married and with child, and you need to fucking back up.
And David really likes her too. But he very clearly knows that she is feeling more than he's feeling. He doesn't know about the baby yet. Nevertheless, those two are strong for about 2 weeks until we get some fresh blood. I mentioned how the show, they're going to be dropping some people in the ocean. They're going to need to bring in some newbies. And we are going to be introducing you to Val.
Those girls are exactly David's type, and that kind of gets me going a little bit. I mean, they're new, and they don't know the dynamics of everything.
She comes in right around the halfway point of the show, and she initially takes a liking to David. You'll also notice Val fits more of David's criteria. Not that it matters to him anymore. He's a changed man.
Your advice was good, but Jan's was bigger.
Now, here's the thing about the concept of the show. They're trying to make reality TV. They're trying to make interesting drama. So they not only encourage, but incentivize the downsiders, which Val, newcomers, they come in, they have to be downsiders. They incentivize those people to go up and make a ruckus, you know, to try to go and steal the topsiders, because not only is that how you get a room, but that's how you get to live the lavish life that you signed up for when you sign up for the show. The only way to do that is through competitions or stealing someone's man. So that's what Val tries to do.
Yeah, we could go up to like the jacuzzi deck.
Yeah.
When Val tries to pull David for a conversation, they're talking for a little bit, and guess who comes to break it up? That's right, Lo.
So loyalty is like a really big thing for you.
Yeah, loyalty's
Yeah.
big.
Boo.
Hey.
She's very possessive. I've talked about this. Not only now, but there was a time when the first bombshell came in. Lo just started making rude comments about her just because she was feeling territorial.
Okay, staying up close is an acquired taste. Like blue cheese. Swear to God, she better be racist or something because...
And even at that time, David was like, ooh, kind of put off by that a little bit.
Lo's comments about Delaney rubbed me the wrong way.
Now, if you want a little inside scoop of how I make these videos, every time I'm watching the show, I have a Word document that I start writing out notes as I'm going along, just so I can remember, and I can kind of hone in on like the things that I was feeling and what I was feeling about certain Islanders. And I wrote a few notes about this interaction specifically. So Lo comes to break up Val and David's conversation. That's not good, all right? On a dating show, there's always like a certain decorum. Everyone understands that they're all there to date around and date each other and test out connections, right? And it's not always gonna feel good to have the person that you've been speaking to and the person you kind of can start to see a future with talking to someone else, right? That can bring up some feelings of jealousy, right? But most people swallow that down as best as they can because they understand what the show is for. However, Lo and Val just start getting really catty with each other, and David is just standing there.
No, but I'm new here. I'm just talking to people. That doesn't mean
But what's
like
the point?
you're acting like
Rejected. It's like embarrassing. I was trying to help you from like the jump.
I'm not getting rejected because I'm talking to him. I'm not asking him to go fuck me in a room.
I'm literally trying to save him from like things that he doesn't want to do.
Well,
you know?
then he's lucky to have you.
Oh.
He's right there, and he does not speak a word. And he just looks dumb, lurking in the background in his dumb polo shirt and on a boat and not even wearing his Bombas Friday slides. This video is sponsored by Bombas. You know Bombas from their comfortable socks, but now you get to know Bombas for their awesome slides. How easy is it to slide these things on? They are so lightweight. They have a nice cushy support. Of course, they're waterproof, so wear them outside, get them dirty, then you can just hose them down easy. This Friday slide is just another great product in a line of awesome Bombas products. Actually, I'll tell you a personal story from just a couple days ago. I was on the phone with my mom. Hi, Mom. And she asked me, do you think you're going to be sponsored by Bombas for the rest of the year? And I was like, I don't know why. And she's like, well, I kind of want more Bombas socks for Christmas. That's a little inside joke I do with my family. I get them Bombas socks every year. I pretend like it's a different gift, but I give it to everybody. The fact that she's asking for Bombas socks in May already, that's so funny. My entire family has converted. They all love Bombas. And they're great because they have donated over 200 million items to those in need. That's their mission, to give back. That's why every time you purchase an item from Bombas, they donate an item. That's how they're able to facilitate the give back. You can help out with that while also getting some socks and some slides for yourself. Just head to bombas.com/oogabooga, then use code oogabooga20 at checkout. You're going to get 20% off your first purchase. If you have not tried Bombas yet, get some for yourself. You're going to understand why I am so excited to always work with Bombas. I've converted my family. I am trying to convert all of you now. Let's get on this train. That's bombas.com/oogabooga. Thank you to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Here's what I wrote about that moment, okay? I wrote, I'm surprised David didn't say anything here. It's not his battle necessarily. But I also kind of feel it's not masculine to just roll over because you're afraid to get involved. He's scared to rock the boat. I feel like it shows a lack of principle. A lot of people don't live up to the principles that they have, right? They don't hold the people that are around them accountable. Like if I felt my partner was being extraordinarily rude to someone else, I would say something. I wouldn't just roll over and be like, well, I don't want to, cause any unnecessary fights. I would want to live by the principle. But I also wrote down, I think that he enjoyed being fought over because immediately after the two girls fight, he pulls Lo aside and he's like, you handled that perfectly. You saved me from that horrible conversation.
I feel like you handled it well. You came up and saved me.
And it's so wrong. Like there's that tacit agreement until you like lock in with somebody, you should be allowed to have conversations and you shouldn't interrupt it unless it's going for like a really long time. That might feel inappropriate or disrespectful, but it's Val's first day. She's just getting to know him and David's not giving her the signs that he's closed off. In fact, Val tells some of the other ladies that some of the other guys that she has talked to have indicated to her that they are closed off completely. David has not given that to her. He seems like he's open. That's why she continues to try to speak to him. Now, this is how the downsiders come topside. So every few days, they give one downsider a date. They could choose anyone on the top side. Val, of course, for the drama. They gave her the dates. And she chooses David, of course, for the drama. The entire cast was like, good luck, lady.
I'm not surprised Val went for David, but I feel for her because I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
That was my initial reaction, too. It would be insane if he chose her after knowing her for a day. By the way, forgot to mention this. After David said, you handled that so well, he wanted to give Lo some extra reassurance. So he said, hey, Lo, do you want to be my girlfriend? And they start dating. They're dating now. They're closed off as you get on reality TV shows. That's why everyone on the boat is like, yeah, they just closed it off last night and they're dating. So I don't know why you choose him for the dates. She's 100% going overboard.
Lo and David are now dating. So Val going up there, talking to David, seems like a little bit of a suicide mission.
After the date is over, immediately, the person who was chosen to go on a date has to choose between his current partner and the person that picked him for the date. And then the person that's not picked goes overboard. So everyone's thinking, she picked him for the dates. That means that night she's going to be standing on the plank next to Lo, and David's going to send her ass overboard because he's dating Lo now. What a stupid choice. But the problem I had was the show kept including clips of the boaties saying, she's so screwed. Why would she do this? She's 100% going overboard tonight.
She might be going swimming tonight. No, not might. She's going swimming tonight.
I don't know if I need to put you on game here. I've watched enough of this. I've seen enough of the editing. I get how this works. You want to maintain a sense of tension of like anything can happen. If I'm watching and I just know that this date's not going to go anywhere and it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to choose low at the end, then I'm more likely to turn the TV off. So why, and the showrunners know that. That's why when they're editing this, they're like, okay, well, let's try to make it seem like it's 50-50, but they're not including clips of someone being like, hey, anything can happen. You never expect the unexpected type stuff, right? They didn't include that. They said it's over. And that made me think, reverse psychology. Ever heard of it? So what happens on the dates? They go to like a little spa room. They start slapping each other with leaves. I'm serious. That's what they do. They slap each other on the back with leaves, and then they pour honey over each other. I don't know if that's hot or if they were just like, hey, we don't, what can they pour? We don't have oils. No one brought oils. They were out of oils at the store. What did you get instead? Honey. They're gonna pour honey all over each other? Really? All right, put it in the room, see if they use it. Because they start doing it and they're just like, oh, we're all sticky now. It's so weird.
Oh, I'm super sticky.
Yeah.
Some poor low-level employee on the show was like, yeah, no, I went to the store. I couldn't find anything. I don't know what you want me to do. They had no oils. It was that or milk. So what did you want? They're in the room just lathering each other up in milk. Oh, yeah, baby, cover me in that 2%. But it's quite surprising to even David. They connect really well on the date. And by connect, I mean his pelvic region connects to her mouth region in the shower.
Did she give you
This was insane, okay? Like, he just asked Lo to be his girlfriend last night. And then they went to bed, and then he woke up and then went on this date. There is, like, 6 waking hours between when he asked her to be his girlfriend and to when he cheated. Imagine someone asks you to be their partner officially, and you say yes at 2 p.m. And by 8 p.m., they've already cheated on you. And he initiated the relationship. She wasn't like, hey, you have to ask me out now. He just did it of his own volition. And listen, you're listening to me right now, okay? I give so much grace to contestants on reality dating shows because this isn't real. They're getting famous. I don't care about hurting people's feelings. Go crazy, make bad decisions, hurt people in the process. I truly don't care, all right? However, I can't give David grace here because you made this decision to exclusively close it off. Not just closing it off, but like you're starting to apply real world relationship statuses. Now it means more. Now this is actual cheating. This isn't just like reality TV show jumping around, jumping ship. And that bothers me that I have to ding him now for this because I don't want to. I want to see people get hurt. I'm an empath, okay? I care about people and their feelings. But he still has another choice to make. Because the date's over. Well, they still make out some more afterwards. And then the date's over. They immediately go to the plank. That's the how the show does it. Date, the plank, no conversation in between. Everyone goes out to watch the plank ceremony. And David's standing there. And they're all like, oh, this should be quick.
I feel so bad for them. She wasn't even here 24 hours.
And then David, like, he starts making faces and tilting his head back like it's gonna be a hard choice. And they're all like, haha. Look at him hamming it up for the cameras.
Pretending like he has to make a decision. He's like...
Meanwhile, David's sitting on the secret. And after a couple minutes pass, everyone that's watching is like, all right, is he just performing for the drama of the show or what's he doing?
What the fuck is going on?
Now, apparently, according to the show, they put a timer up on the screen. And this really was frustrating to watch just because he was taking forever to answer. But they put a timer up. It was like 15 minutes. Then it's 20, 25, 35, 45 minutes it took him to make a choice. And it's so terrible because both women at certain points, they hit a breaking point of anxiety. You're standing over the ocean on a platform that is built to give out underneath you. You know what I mean? They're like physically having a reaction to it. And David's sitting there like, I don't know.
Be a fucking man. Pussy. David, for fuck's sake.
And again, this just went back to my initial note that I had that David, when Val and Lo fought that one night, he just has no backbone. Make the choice. Yeah, you've made your bed. You made your bed while you were in the shower. Okay, you were doing 2 chores at once. You're every woman's dream. David is very careful about what he says to Lo on the plank. And he kind of talks around it. He says, I don't think you'd be comfortable with how intimate the date got.
To be honest, that date was like, I think, way more intimate than you would be comfortable with.
And the whole thing is really gross if you can't turn your brain off, because then you start to think, Lo is up there and she has to now, in order to save her life on the show, she has to be like, hey, David, it's fine. We can work through it. Whatever happens, you know, we can talk about it. We'll work it out. Like, she's a victim in this scenario, like the victim of his cheating, but she has to play like the very soft angle of like, hey, let's try it out, you know, let's figure it out, you and me.
I'm understanding enough to like work through that if you think that I, you know, don't feel comfortable or something like that.
That also raises the question of Val. Did she do what she did in order to earn a spot on the top side? Because if she doesn't win his affection, she is dumped from the show and this opportunity. So did she do what she did in order to maintain that? Oh, see, now we have to ask ourselves moral questions, which makes this way grosser than it should be. I do talk about the depravity. I do like that. But this actually is like starting to move into the realm of like, if you think about it, it gets pretty bad. In a psychology way, it's fun, where it's like, oh, what are human beings willing to do for opportunity? But it's kind of like a really gross experiment. Ugh. One thing about David is he's always going to make the wrong choice. He would have been so much better served to have both women on the boards, on the planks, and just made the decision quickly, shocked the peanut gallery. Everyone would be like, oh my God, I can't believe that choice. They would have like one moment where they'd be angry.
You fucking dickhead!
The fact that he made both women wait up there and put them through emotional turmoil as they were hung out to dry, about to get wet above the ocean.
Can't do it. I need like, yeah, can we just take a break, please? I literally can't. Like, I feel like I'm about to pass out.
Not only was it bad for the women, it reflects poorly on you that you can't be decisive, but then also everyone that's watching, all of your fellow contestants, your fellow Bodies, they're all thinking he's about to drop not only his girlfriend, but my friend. And it's just this roller coaster of emotions for them as they continue to be like, okay, maybe she's safe, maybe not, I don't know. And they're starting to feel anxious about what's going on.
Make a decision. Can't have us wait like this.
Just fucking say it, bro.
So the longer he made them wait, he lost on like multiple fronts. It's so dumb. They tear into his ass. Largely, it's Leela, who we'll talk about her a little bit later on. She is the resident pot stirrer. Her goal is to just be as inflammatory as possible. Not that David doesn't deserve it, but she lights him up.
That's your fucking girlfriend you just dropped in the goddamn ocean, you dumbass. Are you not embarrassed of yourself? This is on TV, you fucking idiot. Val, he'll do the same exact shit to you, so don't expect much.
David spends the next, I want to say 24 hours, but honestly, it's kind of like the rest of the show, moping around. The next morning at breakfast, all of the topsiders are supposed to eat together, and they're all sitting there talking, and they're like, oh my God, how crazy was it? And then David comes out, just kind of just like waddling his ass out there. And he sits down in his robe, and it's awkward as hell.
Hungry, David? No.
Oh, you'd think you'd worked up an appetite.
And then Leela's there. She starts instigating. And David just like gets up and he kind of waddles away. And then he goes and he mopes some more. And he has to be consoled by a producer. And then later on, Tim is another guy. He was really pissed at what David did.
You Graves, Tim, please. You went through the same shit, but on the opposite side.
Tim, you look like
Everybody saw a ghost.
you look like you saw a ghost.
Bro, he made her his girlfriend last night.
That's
last night.
Wild.
I mean, what a fucking dirtbag.
Which I was kind of glad to see. Not only because it was more drama, but also because I think a lot of the reason people get away with cheating is because there's less and less shame surrounding it. Where people don't hold each other to account. They're like, hey man, we got your back, you're all good. On a dating show, like I said, these aren't like real relationships to me. Even David and Lo at this point, I don't know, like technically they're boyfriend, girlfriend, they've known each other for 14 days. Tim was like dogging him behind his back, and then when David entered, he like stared him down. I don't know if we couldn't see David's eyes. I don't know like if David saw him, but I kind of respected it. That's what I was talking about with principles. Like, if your friend does something that like goes against your principles, just because they're your friend, doesn't mean you just let it slide. The reason I have zero respect for David is not only because all of this is brought upon him from his own actions, like this is his fault entirely. I would respect it if the next morning, if you had just came to the table and was like, hey guys, I know yesterday was a lot. I made the decision. I thought it was best for me, and I can talk to you about why if you want to have that conversation. But playing the like wounded sympathy card of like, oh, I'm really down. Can't you see how down I am? maybe you should pick me back up. It's like, no, you're the one that did this to someone else, okay? I don't know. I just didn't respect it at all. I wanted him to pull someone aside on his own volition, and he never did that. Every time he had a conversation was someone approaching him seeking answers. I kind of understood, like, the reason why he dumped Lo is because, and this is something he was revealing in the diary room, him and Lo, they've smooshed a couple times, but he has never completed.
And I think sexual compatibility is really important. And it seems like we're not necessarily compatible.
And he says this is something that has happened to him in past relationships where a lot of other parts of the relationship really work, but that one area, if they don't connect, the relationship doesn't work, which, hey, kind of feels like something to clue in your partner about, especially if you're starting to plan your futures together. Don't just blindside cheat on her and then dump her from the show. That's so crazy. There's still more with David. Trust me, there's more. We have, I think, 2 more sections where things get a little wild with David and Val throughout the rest of the season. But I wanted to take a side. Let's go back and talk about some of the other couples. There's some good ones this year. And I should also mention the prize for winning the show is an all-expense-paid yacht vacation around the world, which is one of the dumbest prizes in the history of reality TV. You're on a dating show on a yacht, okay? This is the trip. This is the traveling that people wanted to do. They're like, oh, this trip is worth $100,000. And it's like,
The strongest couple will win a romantic trip around the world worth $100,000.
how about instead of the trip, you give me $100,000? I'd rather have the money. We just did the trip. Why would I want another trip after the first trip? Some of the other fun people, early on, my favorite was Bella. I talked about her. She pursued David. She is very funny. She is just fun to watch. She has like a breakdown immediately. See, everyone came on the show. It is a little bit, what's the show? Too Out to Handily, where they kind of blindside the contestants with what they're going to be doing. I think I'm coming on a party yacht to date around all summer. And instead, I'm now going to be in kind of trash conditions where I have to work half of my day. But Bella's in the basement, or the bottom of the ship, the downside, crying very fast.
I swear to God, if it's real cleaning, I can't even clean my room.
It's okay.
She's a great TV watch, super dynamic personality.
This whole summer is so bad. I got screwed over. I'm not gonna be too dramatic about it.
The one problem with Bella is she just cannot find a man. It's tough to watch. She puts so much effort in. She pursues guy after guy, and they're all like, nah after nah. In fact, she pursues one guy. I'm pretty sure this guy was on the dating show video I just did. The Nectar one. How do you go from like a Hulu dating show to a Nectar video? It's kind of like going from the big leagues to AA. A little bit. Not to knock Nectar. Trust me, I love Nectar. But it's not Hulu, you know what I mean? I hate that I recognize him. I hate that he's here. She ends up, though, self-evicting because, nobody wants her, which is tough to watch. Gosh, she's so fun to watch. So I feel like the show should have made more of an effort to keep her on the show.
This is gonna be me and David.
Also, the editing style is so much different than most dating shows that I've watched recently. A lot of them are more like buttoned up. We're here to date. This one's more like MTV Jersey Shore-like. And that's why I was so shocked that they let Bella go, because she's a good dynamic personality. She's the kind of personality you want on the show.
We need to get you some deodorant. We need to get you some deodorant.
It's me.
It's you. It's you.
For Jersey Shore, they used to have them work in a t-shirt shop. In the same way here, they have them work as, workers on the boats. They also work in some competitions on the show, but they're baby competitions. It's literally like, hey, swim from A to B. Or like climb the side of a rock. It's like, okay, really? Another really well-liked couple is James and Lexi. There is some initial attraction between James and Lexi when they first meet, but James kind of ruins that. He's got some class clown energy to him. So when the host is like, how are we feeling? James is like, horny.
Okay, so how's everyone feeling?
Horny.
Which is actually funny, but I'm also class clowny. So I feel like maybe just game respects game, because no one laughs. You know who especially doesn't like that? Lexi. She's like, you good? You good, bro? You good, bro?
You good?
I kind of get the feeling that she wanted to pair with him until he said that, and then she got a big ick. So instead, she pairs with Reese. James still pursues her, though. He's not giving up easily. And in fact, James gets the first date of the show. They don't even know about the plank yet. This is like day 2. So he steals her for a date. They have a fun time. They're like clay painting each other, and then they talk on the beach, and then shower and make out. That's pretty much the date. But afterwards, they come back, they go up to the plank, and both guys are like, oh no, I don't know what's happening. This does not seem fun though. They both get an opportunity to say something to Lexi to try to win her over. And Reese goes first. He's like, hey Lexi, I just wanna remind you of the nice time we had the first day. I feel like we can still grow our connection, which is like snooze fest. Oh, immediately I was like, just dump him. I don't even need to hear what James has to say.
I feel like we got to know each other a good amount despite it only being 24 hours. And so with everything that happened, I think there's still a lot more to uncover about each other.
Thank you.
He didn't know that he was going to have to give a speech and try to save his life on the ship, so I will give him grace there. But then James goes, and he has probably like the most perfect answer.
I feel like our date was perfect, not only because of what we did, but because I got to do it with you. And the connection we have, I think, is everything that I'm looking for.
She dumps Reese, see you later, buddy boy, and her and James are now topsider couples. Unfortunately, though, not too soon afterwards, there's a competition that's going to shake things up. A bunch of the guys have to swim to the 4 girls who are currently topsiders, and the first one to get there, to each of the girls, gets to be a topsider. The girl then gets to choose if she wants to stay with that particular guy that won, or she can go with the guy that lost downside. James loses the race. He doesn't have the swimming mechanism. You can look at his body and you're like, yeah, you can't swim. I don't know. You can just tell sometimes. He's not an aquatic man. She's given the choice. Do you want to go downside with James or stay topside with the person that won? And she's like, no, send me downside. And then they spend the rest of the time downside. They never get back up.
You guys live here for real.
It's been too long.
It's bad. Me and James have been on the downside for so long. I'm actually losing my mind.
They become actual employees of the ship because they just work the rest of the summer. Things go very well for them the rest of the trip, however. There's only one other time they get into a little mix-up, and it's another class clown moment. They are playing spin the bottle. Inside the bottle is like a dare that both the spinner and the one it lands on have to do together.
Oh, God. Let's just fuck already.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And it's a juvenile joke, but it's just generally harmless. But Lexi's like, how dare my man say that? Frankly, I thought the horny comment was funny. Maybe just like my perspective's different. I appreciate a good joke, but Lexi, I don't think does. She doesn't, she's like, that's just not interesting to her. Humor. I can promise she's not watching my videos. Cause like, if that doesn't appeal to her, I can't provide you anything. I don't know what you're doing here. Lexi takes it personally. She's like, why wouldn't you want to see me kiss another girl?
If my man's gonna ask for some girl-on-girl action, I would assume it's gonna be me with another girl. I would never expect my man to like say a comment like that to 2 random girls.
You know what? Part of it's like they're sunbaked and they have nothing to do. All they do all day is like lay around. And they're all trapped on a boat. Like being on a yacht is fun for a day, but they're there for a month. It's like kind of taxing. Honestly, doing work shifts is appealing because at least there's something to do. And the thing is with Lexi, she never got over that initial horny comment.
I think I might have dug myself a hole with Lexi. Obviously, no one wants their man to raise their hand and say they're horny.
She not only says it to his face, well, first of all, she says it at a DR, at a diary room. She's like, that was kind of weird.
When James made the comment that he was like horny, that immediately like shut me down.
And then she tells Reese, when he said that comment put her off of him.
I mean, James was like, I'm horny. Ew, like if you know that you're horny, like I don't want to know that. I want to be able to feel it.
And then she tells it to James's face.
But I think he made the horny comment and everything got quiet.
And then like a month later, it's like the very end of the show. All of the girls have their best friend come and visit them on the boat. And that's one of the things she brings up. She was like, first thing James ever said, he was horny. And her friend is like, ew.
He was the guy that like yelled, I'm horny the first day and immediately right?
Yes.
I know.
So much better.
In front of James's face, and I felt so bad. I was like, dude just made one joke. I think it bothers me because I would put myself in that situation. And it's like, it's an innocent joke. Like it's been a month. You spent every single day together. And that's the first thing you want to tell your friend. What other couples? Leela and Corey. Corey seems like an all right dude. Boring as hell on reality TV. Leela is interesting. I wrote down that she was made in a lab for a show like this. She's like, I think they built her for the show. Every chance she has to cause drama, she takes it. But she doesn't just take it, she takes it to like the most extreme level.
Jump over, we don't even want you here anywhere, David.
And she does it in an infuriating way. So first day, she gets roomed with Bella as a downsider. and they have to work a shift together. And Bella confides in Leela. She's like, hey, don't tell anybody, but I'm kind of feeling David.
David? Which one's David? You can't feel nobody. I won't.
And she specifically says, don't tell anyone. And Leela specifically says, I won't. And then as soon as they climb the stairs, Leela goes and rushes over to Lo, and she's like, hey, guess what?
Bella really wants him. Just watch out. I'm just telling you because you're my girl.
But I think the thing that frustrates me most about Leela is she's so devious. She knows that this information is gonna come to light, that Lo is gonna know that Bella wants David and that Leela was the one that told her, right? So she tries to do damage control. Leela goes to Bella and she's like, hey, so I had a conversation with Lo, and then she fabricates a conversation, like a mock conversation that she had with Lo about how the topic of Bella liking David came up organically.
She was like, how are you doing? How are things down there? And I was like, good, like, not really interested in anyone. And she was like, so what about Bella? And I was like, well, Bella's kind of into David. Bella really wants him.
Just watch out.
All that happened was Bella rushed over and said, I gotta tell you something. But the way that Leela tells it, it's like, oh yeah, no, so we just happened to be talking about who we liked, and she mentioned your name, and we got to talking about you, and then I guess it just kind of stumbled out. And I love that Bella just immediately catches on, and she's like, you're so fake. She's like, it's so obvious.
It's so obvious. Leela told Warren that I want her man. It's just so snaky. It literally feels like calculated.
She does it later with another couple. There's another triangle, which I'll talk about. Tim, Bo, and Gia. Leela runs over to Bo and she starts talking about Gia and her not being certain.
Now she's exploring two options. And she knows that if she doesn't like Tim, you're gonna be there.
And then Leela's like, oh my God, I did it again. And so she rushes over to Gia. She's like, oh, I need to clear this up immediately. And then she does another fake conversation that never happened. All she does is she goes out of her way to spill gossip unprompted. And then in order to damage control, she goes to the person that she gossiped about and then fabricates a fake conversation and tries to like downplay how the information came to light. Like that kind of person in real life is like the most frustrating person to deal with. There's Sade, who is all right. She's another self-evictor. She never finds anybody. She's another person that maybe not quite in the same way, like built in a lab, because she's always causing problems. She partners with Keith on day one, and I did write down the Keith. Is it Keith with a lisp? I did write that down. That was a joke that I wrote. I don't know why that name catches me by surprise so much. It's just like, why is it an F? I don't know. But Keith immediately regrets partnering up with Sade because, like in their first diary room that they're doing together, Sade is like, I could not be a downsider ever because I'm super high maintenance. And she's like, are you high maintenance, Keith? And he's like, literally not at all.
I try to pretend to be low maintenance, but I couldn't do it, I don't think. Could you?
I'm very low maintenance.
It's just like they're so clearly incompatible. They're topsiders to start. And he lays down on the bed, which is like the first thing you do in a hotel room. You just kind of like jump on the bed. Are you guys also children that do that? Or are you adults that unpack your suitcase first and foremost? So he lays on the bed and she's like, ooh, are you really gonna lay on the bed with your outside clothes on? And I thought, what the fuck are outside clothes?
So right now you have your outside clothes on.
You're right.
In the bed.
I know some people don't like when you wear shoes in the house. Sometimes it's good for your body to get like bad germs because it toughens your immune system. You're more susceptible to disease and illness if your body can't fight it off. So it's good to get some outside germs. Let him wear his shirt and pants on a bed. That's ridiculous. Then there's Anna and Andrew who pair up in the craziest way. It's a friendship couple, but Andrew's odd. We'll say that. He's odd.
I mean, I'm obviously like I work out a ton, so pretty fucking strong, dude.
Usually when people have certain oddities and they're captured on camera, I could tell if they're like hamming it up to a degree. With Bella, I could tell that she was hamming it up a little bit. Like it's her authentic personality, but just like heightened to a degree. With Andrew, I don't think I ever figured it out. Andrew, though, is interested in Sophia. As soon as they get out to that swimming competition, which is one of the earlier competitions in the show. In fact, I think it's the very first. Andrew is like, oh my God, I'm gonna crush this competition. I used to be a lifeguard. So he swims out, and I think he's the first person to reach somebody. And he's so excited about this. I think he swims to Anna, and he's like, Anna, just don't pick me. Just go downside with your partner, and I wanna bring Sophia up. But Anna's like, how about screw you? I'm gonna stay topside and you're gonna be stuck with me. So she decides to stay topside and he's like, oh, great.
I will stay up top just because I should.
But this is where Sophia crafts a plan. she says, okay, well, if Andrew's interested in me, I'll take him on a date. Me and Anna will go to the plank. Andrew is going to choose to keep me. Then I'll be coupled up with him. And then someone else will win a date and take me on a date. And then I'll be able to plank Andrew off the boat. It's a kind of a long plan. Like that. This is going to be at least a week-long enterprise. And she's going to have to keep it up for a while. The reason this is crazy is because Sophia does such a good job of convincing Andrew that she likes him.
That's why I swam today for you. I mean, I did it for you, honestly.
You're
Seriously,
lying.
I swear.
I think the plan that I established earlier today is working better than I had even intended.
That conversation they have in the boat living room, I'm not a yacht guy. Not quite the sophisticated man you all think I am. I don't know the rooms of a yacht and the names that they are called. The boat living room. That might be the official term. I don't know. I did want to say this. This is also another moment that was really funny. When Andrew won the competition, though, he went down to the downside where Sophia was. And he was like, hey, did I look super cool or what? Everyone else was talking about how majestic I looked, how fast I swam. They were all saying it looked pretty cool. I don't know. That's what they were saying, so.
Did I look fast out there or what? They were all like, holy shit.
No, it's actually really insane.
Yeah, I feel like I beat them by like 30% each. I've been swimming like 4 years.
Swimming in the Hudson?
And that's not trying to show off or anything. I legitimately haven't. But I work out so much that I feel like it translates over to swimming well.
But Sophia, she's like holding his hand. She's giving him the eyes. The problem with Sophia's plan, however, she tells everybody.
The girl who I thought was one of my best friends is trying to get Andrew and come up to the top side. Devious shit.
Once you start being a fucked up person to someone, that's when my respect goes out the window. I am just thinking, Soph, what are you doing, baby?
So she does win the date. And she goes on a date with Andrew, and everyone is like, oh, this feels kind of schemy. I don't know if I like this. You feel like you might not be an upstanding person. At the same time, I don't blame her, because like that's the first thing I thought. Like that's what a downsider would do, is like try to trick and manipulate a topsider into bringing them up and then planking them at the first opportunity, right? At one point, Sophia is like looking at it like through a window at some of the other castmates and the other boaties, and she's like, help me. As she's about to go on a date.
Help me. That's crazy that she just said that.
On the dates, she tries really hard to ruin the vibe. She succeeds in it. It's awkward. And then Andrew goes in for a kiss. Oh, you're gonna have to watch this. I'm sorry.
Okay, you wanna go?
You did go for the lips.
You wanna go?
She like grabs him by the throat. She's like, okay, that's enough of that. He kissed her, and the first words out of her mouth were, okay, let's go now. Let's leave. And then the show is messy. They have him do a diary room where they clearly ask him the question, do you think she likes you? And he responds, yeah, I think she likes me.
I'm not a mind reader, but I would probably say that she's interested in me for sure.
While they're on the plank, Anna goes first, and she says, Andrew, Sophia is a master manipulator. Everyone in the villa, everyone on the boat knows that she doesn't like you.
She's an opportunist. She does not like you. She doesn't like you, Andrew. Not even a little bit. She even mouthed, help me, before your date.
And I'm thinking, I don't think that's gonna work, because Andrew is vain. He thinks even if she doesn't like me now, she's going to like me because I'm so awesome. Like that's his actual brain process. But the reason I think Anna is the one that's going to stay, she drops the magic bullet line.
You're an alpha male, and I don't think this is very alpha male behavior to let her turn you into a joke.
Like, I was stun-locked by how perfectly Anna played that. That is like the exact line. Anyone who considers themselves an alpha male, they have to play by like a certain rule set. They have to be viewed a certain way. There's a certain code that they have to live by, that they have to live up to. So Andrew's like, yeah, well, obviously, you're right. The code says I have to drop Sophia now. So he does. Oh, he drops Sophia. And I said before that Sophia, it's part of the show. That strategy, I was going to figure that somebody was going to do it at some point. She kind of loses some points with me, however, because later on in the season, they're going to bring all the dumped castmates back, including Lo. I'll talk about that. She came back after David dumped her. But Sophia came back, and she's like, hey, Andrew, I want to set the record straight.
Andrew and I have some unfinished business. I left the boat on the plank, with a ton of lies that I fed Andrew to the point where he thought that I liked him. So I've come back to set the record straight.
She pulls him aside just to tell him that she is repulsed by him, that he's the worst guy that she's ever met.
I am so repulsed by you. You're right. I do not like you at all. That date was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
The problem is, like, there's no self-reflection. It's been weeks. Have some grace by being like, hey, yeah, I did try to trick you. You got one over on me. Is what it is. Instead, she's like, no, I want him to know how much I hate him.
I was very surprised that you weren't into me, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
And it's not like Andrew comports himself any better in this scene. It's not like he has grace and humility. He's awkward and awful too.
That date was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Same.
That's why I was.
That's funny because I think the same exact thing about you.
Like, what she's saying about him is true, but also you don't have to say it. Then also the gall that she has to say that, like, she's shocked. She's like, you thought that I was interested in you? It's like, yeah. You put your game on. Like, how could you be tricked? Well, I don't know, maybe because you went out of your way to trick me. The other moment with Andrew, and this is what I couldn't figure out, like, what part of this is performance. I don't think this is performance. The downsiders are serving the topsiders dinner, and he doesn't come up, and they're like, where's Andrew? Cut to him. He's still in the bottom. He's in his bunk, and he's like, I need to call my mom immediately. It's an emergency. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, is it like seasickness? If it's homesickness, I'll be like a little bit embarrassed, but I get it. But I was thinking something's wrong because he's like, call my mom, call my mom, call my mom. And they do. They're like, okay, we'll get your mom on the line.
Please let me call her.
Okay, hold
Or
on.
I'm gonna panic attack.
Okay, calm down.
Let me call my mom. I need to call my mom.
And he calls her. And he's like, Mom, this is an emergency.
Mom, it's Andrew. It's an emergency. I'm with a producer here, and it's not good. It's a bad emergency.
The show gives him no respect, which they shouldn't. They on the bottom graphic, they put Andrew's mommy, which is funny. Andrew then tells his mom what the problem is. What is this emergency?
This woman completely destroyed my sideburns.
What am I supposed to do about this?
They cut his sideburns too short for his liking. There's a certain level of self-obsession that you have to get to where you allow your sideburns being cut too high to ruin your trip.
Do you give a fuck about it? Can you just tell me what to do?
No, I do. What am I supposed to do?
And he looks the exact same. He looks the exact. The amount of vanity you have, it's actually like impressive. How do you pack that much vanity into one person? The thing is, like, I know his role models. Patrick Bateman, just like number one. Clear number one. Okay, so the last couple I really want to talk about is Gia and Bo. They are both initially downsiders, and they're also kind of like Sophia. They both hatch a plan. They're like, how about we talk to some of the topsiders? One of us will win one of them over, and then we'll dump them for the other. Now, one thing that Gia says is that she's a very loyal person. She's not someone who likes to play around with people's hearts and feelings.
Like, one thing I can honestly tell you is I'm always gonna keep it, like, so straight up with you.
Yeah, I realize that.
Because I'm not, like, the type of person that has, like, a wandering eye.
So he should not get worried when they enact the plan of flirting with other topsiders. Don't get jealous, because it's all part of the plan. Gia hones in on Tim. She starts flirting with him, except a little wrench is thrown in. Remember that swimming competition early on? It's like first week. Bo wins one of the slots. Bo is allowed to bring up anyone of his choosing. He brings up Gia. All of a sudden, they're topsiders. They never even had to, flirt and talk to other people. Problem is, now Tim thinks you're interested. So Tim, a new downsider because of the competition, he starts pursuing Gia, and they give him a date. They have some banter. They get on well. Their flirting is nice. However, when they are grape stomping, which is their date, they start squashing the grapes on each other's bodies, and he goes in for a kiss, and she says, whoa, 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 hold your horses there, big fella. I'm with Bo. And she says she feels guilty, like she would be cheating on Bo if she kissed Tim.
But I just feel like it's fucked up to kiss you right now.
I feel like if I kissed him, that's me, like, cheating on Bo.
And I'm thinking, oh, brother, this guy is cooked. What are his chances? On the plank, she's not even willing to kiss him. She's been with Bo for close to a week now. And literally that morning, before Tim asked Gia on the date, she was talking about Bo and just about how gorgeous he is, how perfect he is. Every time she looks at him, she's like taken aback by just how attractive she thinks he is.
Bo, he's literally perfect. It's like the most beautiful, like I'll literally like look over and I'll be like, why are you so hot? Like, it's insane.
Yeah, Tim, buddy, you're done. So as soon as they went to the planks, I was like, there's just like no tension for me. It's like so obvious. Gia says, I'm battling between my heart and my mind.
I'm struggling right now with the battle of my head and my heart.
And in the end, I really have to just follow my heart because I've gone for my mind in the past and it hasn't worked out. So I gotta follow my heart, and I choose to dump Bo. Tim was the heart? I was so shocked by that. As soon as she said the mind and the heart thing, I was like, Bo is the heart. Of course he is. She's like infatuated with him deeply.
Why are you
beautiful.
so hot? Like,
True.
it's insane. He has the best heart.
Oh, that's the moment I was like, I'm for sure making a video on this. I was so taken aback by that decision. She wouldn't kiss Tim because it felt like she would be cheating on Bo if she had. But now she's gonna dump Bo? What? Tim and Gia then become a couple. They're very good throughout the season. They also get into a little bit of a hiccup. Remember that spin the bottle game? Oh. So it lands on Leela, and Tim has to demonstrate his favorite smoosh position with Leela. And then Gia's like, how dare you?
The hair part was way too far. Yes. You did too much, homie.
At one point, she's like, I need a man, not a boy, right? Someone who's gonna take things seriously. And as soon as she said that, I thought, ma'am, do you know where you are? You are on a yacht, on a televised dating show.
Horny!
You're looking for maturity? Well, I'm sorry. You've come to the wrong place.
Ahoy there, perverts!
You're playing Spin the Bottle. You're playing a game for literal teenagers. Oh, actually, I said that was the last couple I was going to talk about. There's one final one, but it's short. It's Keith. Remember Keith? New bombshell comes in. The first one, her name is Delaney. And shockingly, Keith and her hit it off. It's shocking because Delaney is like a Los Angeles model, and Keith is a Nebraska cop. There doesn't seem to be a lot of overlap. Oh, one thing I also wrote down that I kind of wanted to mention. When he found out David cheated, what would you expect his answer to be, or how his response to be?
I don't care what anyone else is saying. At the end of the day, you're still my brother. I appreciate that, dude. You can count on me, dog.
You fit the mold, the stereotype of a cop so well that it's almost like shocking. But I also at the same time, like, I feel like cheating isn't a death knell in a lot of friendships. Like, if your friend cheats, you don't cut off contact with them usually because you're not the aggrieved party, and cheating has become so normalized. But that's a different discussion. Now, Keith, just in general, I don't know how he made it through casting, frankly. He's not entertaining in the slightest.
I really like you too. I vibe with you super well. You're kind of funny.
He doesn't have a bombastic personality. He doesn't drink, which I don't want to put any like negative connotations on any of these things. They're fine as like real world traits. However, when you're making entertainment television, there's certain personalities that really pop on screen. Quiet guy who doesn't talk about his feelings or thoughts very much, doesn't drink, not witty, quippy, anything. Why? Who cast him?
This date couldn't have been more perfect. We got tons and tons in common. I think she really liked that.
I think his brother must be a producer or something. Like there's no way you make it through. And also, I hate Delaney and Keith's interactions because they do go on a date at one point, and Delaney's like, it'll be nice to see Keith's fun side. And they've been together for like, I don't know, days on end, and she's still waiting to see his fun side, which is, you're on a yacht. That's the only side you should be familiar with. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't think you're going to. She's an LA model, he's a Nebraska cop. And this isn't a Hallmark Christmas movie, okay? They're not meant to be together. On their final dates, Keith and Delaney, they're on like a gondola. Is that what you call those? Gondola. Yeah. No? I don't know. I called it a boat living room, so words don't mean much to me. But Delaney asked the question, like, long term, what are you looking for from a wife?
Do you want your wife to be a stay-at-home wife, or do you want her to work?
I want my kids to be raised by their mom. Daycare is great, but I don't want somebody else raising my kid.
And Delaney says, 2025, I like working. And Keith is like, it is 2025. Don't talk back to me. No. I don't currently have a sandwich in my hand, and I don't know that you're doing your part. Listen, I don't want to, again, this is another one of those things where I don't want to knock the way people want to live. Delaney insinuates, if I'm a model and I'm bringing home the money, I don't mind stay-at-home dad. But he's like, yeah, no, that's the setup I want. It's specifically the guy has to be the one working, and the woman has to be the one taking care of the home. And she's like, you're a very simple man. And he's like, oh, I'm so simple. He thinks it's a compliment.
Yeah, you're a simple man.
Very simple man.
But that was the moment she broke up with him in her mind. Later on, when her friend comes to visit, she grills Keith. Oh, God, that one's tough. That one's not even the worst one, though. It's hard to watch, but it's not the worst one. Because the friend asks Keith, what do you like about Delaney? And you know Keith, not great with words.
You're pretty. You've been amazing so far. She's not very funny. She's beautiful. And I just see a future together with you now.
Oh, God, all the friend dates, or all the friend visits, like, none of that goes well for any of the guys.
My point of view, you've only known her a couple weeks. Do you really love her to her core to continue this after?
Kind of baffling. I'm surprised because Lexi's friend grills James, and James is genuinely like head over heels. I get F-boy from James, like that was my initial impression, but he's like super genuine. And he's really into Lexi. He says he grew up around women, his mom and a bunch of sisters, and you can kind of tell. He's good with his words, like he's very verbal about his feelings and such.
Horny!
I forgot what his answers were, but I thought he gave good answers, and still the friend is like, not sold. Tim is another one. Gia's twin brother comes, and they're very tight, and I thought Tim did a decent job expressing how he cares for Gia. And in fact, I think Tim just said he loved Gia, which is like, okay. You guys don't even really know each other. You've just seen like one facet of their personality, which is their yacht, boat, TV personality. Like, let's wait till you get the full breadth of a personality before you can say you love each other, right? But her brother is like, not sold. Don't know if it's the greatest. And I was like, surprised. Oh, the conversation with David, Val and David. Oh, that was tough. That was tough.
She's genuine to her core and loyal. I just want to make sure that she's taken care of, and if someone's fully committed to her all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David is so shook at this point in the show, and then also now being grilled. The way he talks, everything is so slow and drawn out because he wants to pick the very specific words that don't get him in trouble. Like the friend is like, why did you leave her up on the board for 45 minutes? After she finds out that David dumped his girlfriend that he made the night before for Val. Why did he make that choice? The only like acceptable answer is like Val and we had a connection on a date that was so sincere and it moved me so deeply that I had to pursue it. You still lose points, but you gain enough points to offset it a little bit. But instead, his answer is, no, I wanted to keep them both on the board so that Lo had enough time for it to sink in that something was wrong.
You know, I could tell that the other person might have been unaware that I was going to pick Val.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give them time to realize, like, my head is turned.
It's a crazy thing to say. Also, the friend draws it out of David. He's a cheater. He's cheated in the past. His last, not the past. His very last relationship.
And we ultimately separated because of trust issues. I reacted very spitefully and, essentially stepped out.
And the friend clarifies, she's like, oh, you cheated. And he was like, yeah, that's what I meant.
So infidelity took place, or?
Yeah, that is kind of what I meant.
Like he was like sarcastic where he's like, duh. It's a very important thing I'm hearing. I want to make sure I got it correct. The fact that he like got a little sarcasm, I was like, dude, shut up. Val is like silently crying the entire time. It's awful. This is the worst part. The friend, after hearing David's awful answers, the friend is like, yeah, you have my stamp of approval. And I was like,
For now, my stamp of approval.
Because then Val's like, oh, I'm so happy to have that stamp of approval. That means I have the green light on the relationship now. But I feel like the friend is also just like trying to be a friend, and it's like, hey, I trust you to make your own choices. That's what it felt like. So the stamp of approval was a mistake. Oh, we should also talk about Lo. When Lo came back, David was sweating. He was dying inside.
I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm trying to like help you out here.
Sure.
Like, you sound so crazy right now.
Lo knows about the blow because Lo's friends told Lo about the blow.
Like, guys, I thought, okay, maybe they made out, maybe like whatever, but she sucked his is wild.
But the friends say, don't tell David that you know about the blow. So Lo doesn't tell David she knows about the blow. She wants him to cop to it, to come clean. Because that is, at least, it's the hard thing to do, but the respectable thing to do. But he doesn't. He doesn't, of course, because he's spineless.
I can either betray Val's privacy and tell Lauren everything that's happened, or I can try my best to dance around certain topics while doing my best to give Lo as much of a truth as I can.
I don't want to tell you because I feel that would be an invasion of Val's privacy. That excuse can work. If this whole show wasn't going to air, this whole thing, Lo is going to see this. She's going to go home. She's going to watch this. You're not doing this to respect her privacy. You're doing this to dodge accountability. No spine. God, that initial read I had when he didn't interfere when Val and Lo were fighting amongst each other, I felt like he could have separated them and been like, hey, I feel like this is inappropriate. Because that's something someone with principles would do. But I don't think he has principles. And the crazy thing is, like, he would come across so much better to me, and I think a lot of people, if he was just callous about this whole thing, where he was like, yeah, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have made you my girlfriend. If he just dropped her and was like, you know what? This is my experience on the show. And if you want to criticize me, fine. But I'm going to do what I think is best for me. Leela and Corey. So, oh yeah, they got dumped leading into the round of 5. It was between them and David and Val. And Leela and Corey got dumped. Tough. They were boring as a couple. But then they play a burn box game. So they're all writing anonymous, like, notes about each other. They're going to then have a dinner where they open up the box and read it out. It's anonymous. But at the same time, everyone kind of knows how each other feels. So it's pretty easy to spot the source of the comments. There's a lot that, I wouldn't say that comes to light, but there's a lot of tension at this table. It's very entertaining. But then they all press each other like, who said it? And then they all come clean.
Well, who wrote it?
Yeah, well, you can't write a card and not speak on it.
There's one moment, though, that was interesting where it comes to light that David cheated in his past relationship. They're like, Val, does that bother you at all? And Val is like, no. I cheated on my first boyfriend, so who am I to judge?
I also did cheat on my first boyfriend. I do not believe in once a cheater, always a cheater. I really do think it's circumstantial.
Val actually says that just because you're like once a cheater doesn't mean you're always a cheater, which is a crazy thing to say when the guy that you're with, you're only with because you cheated with him like 10 days ago. It's true. That might be true. Like, it's not true that once a cheater, always a cheater. But at the very least, he's not reformed yet. The reason you got him was through cheating, which is crazy. I did think that James and Lexi were going to win this because I talked about it. James is very effusive with his words and his feelings. The 3 final couples have to talk about why they think they should win in front of the voters, which are all the other Bodies who got eliminated. James makes his case. He drops that he loves her, which is like, everyone's like, oh, I can't believe you said it.
I didn't know anything. That was like very vulnerable and really sweet.
He didn't just say he loves her. He said, this is the love of my life. I don't know where the couples ended up. I don't know if they're still together or not. I didn't look that up yet. I want to do that with you guys at the end here. But since the voters ate up the love line, Tim and Gia are next, and they have to drop love you as well.
And I'm so happy to be here with you.
Love you. So Gia's like playing with his hair. She's like, I'm so grateful for you. I love you. And Tim is like, oh my God, you've cracked me open. It's so effusive and it's so performative to me. Like, that's not how they naturally are. And it feels like they're just saying the things to win. But then it gets to David and Val, who at this point, I think, should have just said, we're not going to win. Let's just say it was fun to know each other. Great experience. Move on. But Val goes first. And she's like, David, I know like it's been a difficult time. However, I'm so glad to have met you. I am so deeply, unbelievably in love with you.
I'm so in love with you, and I care about you so much.
Huh? So who wins the show? Well, the lowest voted couple is going to hit the plank with one other random couple of the 3, and it ends up being James, Lexi versus David, Val. It seemed very obvious. James and Lexi, fan favorites on the boat as well. I wasn't even concerned. Easy peas.
Oh, shit.
What?
Okay, so now David has a 50-50 chance of winning this freaking show? Are we sure we know what we're doing, guys? Part of the why of this, you're like, how did David get votes? He was like reviled on the boat. Remember when I talked about David's strategy was just kind of mope and seem like the victim? Before David could answer like why he thinks he should win and, you know, talk to Val about how much he cares about her, Lo says, excuse me, I have something to say. She gets up, she reads a message. David, fucking hate you, go die. The only reason I've waited around in this hotel is to watch you go overboard, and I'm hoping there's a sea of sharks and orcas and killer whales, and those are orcas and other animals that are in the ocean.
In a span of only 5 hours, you literally went from standing 10 toes down for me to folding like a fucking lawn chair.
I thought that was fair. She had something to get off her chest. She wrote out her feelings. It's her final time that she's gonna say something. Not a big deal there, but the other people start getting on his case bad.
Val, I care a lot about you.
Gabby, we can't hear him.
No one can fucking hear you.
Then don't waste our time. Like, it's supposed to be a conversation here.
All right, fuck it then.
To the point where he literally just gives up. He just gives up trying to say his speech about why he thinks he should win. And I think he actually bought himself sympathy with that so that he got votes through that. Like, ironically, putting him on trial like that gained him favor and sympathy. If they had just played it like a little bit more classy instead of trying to like extract a confrontation out of him, I think that David would have got like 1 vote to win. I don't think anyone would have voted for him. But I think watching everyone gang up on somebody, there's like a sympathy that we feel generally for those people. But is it enough to beat Gia and Tim? Drum roll. No, it's not. It's not even close, I think. But, yeah, David gets dumped, and Tim and Gia win the show. All right, who wants to see who is still together? Let's find out. So, as of 1 week ago from filming this, let's find out. Gia and Tim seemingly still together. They also won the $100,000 vacation. Me and Gia both live in LA. Oh, she lives about 8 minutes away from me, and a lot has happened since, so you're going to have to follow along. Oh, come watch the vlog. Shut up. I'm looking up her TikTok. Let's see. I'm just going to see if she has any. Okay, so a week ago, she posted that, you know, she's very happy with him when they were on the trip, so I'm sure they're still together. Okay, David and... Oh, wait. I should predict these. I should predict these before. If you guys had to guess, still together or no? I'm thinking no. We'll see. Let's see. I feel like they broke up the second they got off the boat. The second the guy put the camera down and said, all right, you guys can go home, David said, okay, get me away from here. He was a shell of himself for the second half of the season. So Lo was the one that revealed that David and Val broke up. Wait, what? Val seemingly confirmed the split with a cryptic March 2026 Instagram in which she wrote, I'm asking for my privacy while I process things in my own time. Adding, I'll share my story when I'm ready and on my terms. Okay. Oh, Leela and Corey. They try it out 3 months tops. It's over. I think it's been 3 months at least since the show ended. Wow, still together. That's an L for me. Okay, James and Lexi. I don't know. The fact that she never got over that ick thing of him, like the first time she met him, and she brought it up throughout the entirety of the show. Something about that tells me I feel like it's not it. I don't think he would break up with her. I think she broke up with him. Broken up. I knew it. So the distance is part of it. Lexi's in Florida and James is in California. It's just a distance issue. I'm sure. I'm horny. That's all the couples. All right. Wow. See, okay, here's my breakdown on the season. I don't know that the show really works that well. They pair off very early on, and I think some of Love Island seasons do this too, where it's very interesting early on as everyone's just getting to know everybody, and the relationships aren't that firm, so they can be, you know, a bit fragile. They can be walked on. The ice can crack. And watching the floor fall out beneath the feet of Islanders is just fun as hell. But I just feel like a lot of the people just, boom, one person pursued it, and then the other love interest got planked, so they're not a threat anymore. Like Reese is gone for Lexi, so now she only has James. Bo is gone for Gia, so now she only has Tim. So that basically locks in the relationship, and that's a bit of a problem, I feel like. So the planking might end up doing more damage to the show because it forces a person to move on to like their only other connection. The odds that you're gonna have a connection with 3 people or more is unlikely. 2 is already a lot, and if you have 2, one of them is gonna get planked. So it basically gets down to 1. The show is reliant on someone making a crazy decision, I think, in the second half of the show. I think it would be very easy to do a Casa Amor of a second boat. They go on a second yacht for a week, and then they bring them all back. That would be a fun plank ceremony where it's like new person, old person. Oh, that'd be great. The show's got potential, but like I said, I think they got lucky a little bit with the casts being messy in the second half, specifically one person. Also, casting Keith. I don't know that I trust your ability to cast well. But anyways, that was Love Overboard. Temptation Island is next. I am so juiced. I haven't been able to watch it. It's been out for days now. I haven't been able to watch it because I can only fill my head with like one depravity show at a time. Otherwise, my thoughts get all mixed up. I'm just like befuddled. But you bet your bottom dollar that's coming. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Bombas for sponsoring this video. I'll see you around. Hi, bye.